and welcome to the India Hangout. A very disturbing story this morning. A Shiv Sena member of parliament force-fed a man who was fasting for Ramzan because he was unhappy with the quality of food. This was at the Sena Bhavan or in Maharashtra Southern in New Delhi, also where obviously all the members of parliament are housed. Does this mean that Shiv Sena is unable to or resorting to bullying tactics once again, or is there something more deeper, a communal color here? And that's what is the concern with many people. I'm joined by Kumar Ketkar, journalist. I'm also joined by Mandar Phanse, journalist and editor of Saam TV, and to be joining us, Shiv Sena member of parliament Arvind Samant from South Mumbai. So, Kumar, this happened in Delhi, where all the members of parliament were staying. They obviously wanted local food, which maybe they were not getting, or the quality of food was not good. But in retaliation for what they felt was bad food, they tried to make this person, Arshad Zubair, eat that food forcibly. And that man was obviously fasting because of Ramzan.
Well, going by the sequence of events since then, now it is clear that they perhaps, giving the benefit of doubt, did not know that that employee, canteen employee, was a Muslim.
Okay.
Giving the benefit of doubt. I don't think they were doing deliberately to insult his religion or wanted to insult his Ramzan and kind of thing. But the fact that they were bullying is not denied, because that is seen on camera. Everybody has seen on camera how they were bullying. Now one can understand such things happening in a college hostel, not that they are forgivable, but they happen in college hostels. But here MPs elected in constituencies of 17 lakh each, and all of them are there, and here somebody on fast is being force-fed, amounts to ragging of the worst kind. And that kind of ragging done by MPs is extremely shameful.
Okay.
So what can be actually done, since they have committed this so-called crime? Actually it's a crime, ragging is a crime. So they should come forward and say it was unfortunate, we didn't intend to hurt any religion or anybody's sentiment, we were just protesting against the quality of food, not Marathi or otherwise. It was simple quality of food, and the complaints against Maharashtra Southern management and food have been there ever since Maharashtra Southern started.
Right, and so, it's been done by IRCTC.
Yeah, and therefore they have a right to protest, but this is not the way to protest.
Okay. Okay. Can I come to Mandar? Mandar, how do you read it? I mean, is this the normal way Shiv Sena likes to deal with issues and settle matters, which is to indulge in some form of violence, if not, I mean, either major or minor, or is there something more to this?
See, the style of Shiv Sena is the same as it was earlier also, so I'm not surprised by the style, but at the same time, we in media, we are really unfortunately blowing it out of proportion, because if you go by the ambience and the ambient sounds which are predominantly in Marathi, I don't see any purposeful intention here. And the people that are finding out of Muslim youth especially, and then doing that is Ramzan on a fast is on a so I don't think that definitely the incidence is completely unwarranted, and we need to take really the timeline into consideration, especially when it comes to Mr. Bipin Malik, who is the resident commissioner over there. Shiv Sena, and especially the Shiv Sena MPs, they are being given a kind of a biased treatment by the resident commissioner over there. That has been in the news for last week and more than that, and that needs to be taken into consideration. That's what I feel. And the commissioner, the resident commissioner, I think is not there just to represent the state government, but he's representing the state of Maharashtra, and that's why I think he needs to respect the problems of the MPs who have been selected over there, and they were not treated
Mandar,
properly.
Mandar, I think as Kumar Ketkar said, the problem is one thing, which is that obviously the quality of food was not good, and they've been complaining about it for a long time in Maharashtra Southern. But the reaction is something that is obviously caused. Now, a bully obviously will continue to bully regardless of who's there on the other side and what the sensitivity might be. In this case, the sensitivity was obviously that it was someone who was fasting for Ramzan.
Exactly, that's what I haven't really got your voice clearly before what you have said. But my point is again, nobody is deliberately doing this with that view that knowing that he is a Muslim and he's doing a fast and let's break his fast. That thing, I don't think any sane person would do that kind of a thing, especially in the auspicious Ramzan month.
Right. Okay. Arvind Sawant, Member of Parliament for Lok Sabha from South Mumbai, joins us now on the line. Arvind, tell us, why is it that this happens again and again with Shiv Sena? And even if the Shiv Sena was upset with the quality of food being served in Maharashtra Southern, why this this urge to settle this matter in this manner, wherein you shove food into someone's face, which is obviously insensitive, regardless of the community or this particular period of time, which was a fast for him? Right. I think we lost Arvind Sawant there, but we can get him back on the line. Kumar?
Yeah, actually, I don't think that Shiv Sena MPs knew that he was Muslim. So we can grant him that. But the point is, this kind of bullying, which is a style.
Maybe he said that he was fasting and therefore
that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But some of them have said that he said it afterwards.
Okay.
Anyway, but whether it is afterwards or before, whether it is a Muslim or not, would they have done that to the manager? No. They would not have done that to the manager. They are doing it to the poor servant, poor employee of the canteen, which also means even if there is no what you can call religious bias, definitely there is a class bias.
Yeah.
That you can easily, run down the employees because you cannot confront the manager.
Right.
Now the complaints against that management have been there for last about 6 months, ever since it started. About food as well as about management. There is also a subtext to all this. The subtext is that in the same southern, BJP MPs are also staying, and BJP MPs have got a wonderful accommodation suites there, and Shiv Sena has got relatively inferior accommodation in the same southern. So Shiv Sena was actually shouting, Shiv Sena MPs were shouting at the management that why are you giving them, our great Satpal Singh, former Mumbai commissioner, he is also there, why are you giving them better places, suites for them, and why these ugly rooms for us, because some rooms are not completely well maintained. So that also was a class character even among the MPs.
But Kumar, then you're raising a far more fundamental question. You're saying that our members of parliament who are elected by the people of this country are unable to reconcile themselves with the simplicity, the simple things of life.
Exactly.
I mean, they expect that once they go to a point,
and
they need to be.
And more important, all of them come from lower middle class or working class families.
Yeah.
I mean, none of them were born in aristocratic blue-blooded families. None of these MPs. Entire Shiv Sena MP comes from lower middle class. Now, after having actually lived that life, if you can run down some employee, insult him, humiliate him, irrespective of his religion, what you are doing is a grave injustice on simple human question.
Okay. Yeah. Mandar, so the point as we are seeing is obviously a little larger, right? So I'm saying, and more so because as Kumar says, most, if not all, Shiv Sena members of parliament come from fairly humble backgrounds, economically and socially, and for them to actually display this kind of behavior
Or arrogance.
makes it even more despicable.
Definitely yes, but at the same time we need to understand that this is what is the style of Shiv Sena, whether they are from which class or not, that is immaterial, because if you in Shiv Sena you have to do such kind of the protest. But more than that, as Mr. Caterer has pointed out to, is whether Shiv Sena and the MPs of the Shiv Sena will understand overall procedures. They have much more powers with them, especially they are the MPs. It's a big number of MPs. Maharashtra Southern is very much. They can go to the CM and they can do a number of other things to control all these things. Bullying this kind of a person who's really very small and doing kind of a manager, he's a manager over there in the canteen, and then you really force him to eat something like this is really filmy, I would say.
Okay, so let's take the issue forward, Kumar. How does this, this is follows a long line of let's say similar events where Shiv Sena is involved. You've also been the victim of some in the past. They never seem to change, right? For them, the default approach to settling a problem or resolving a problem is some form of force. It might, or let's say, or MNS, which may, attack toll nakas, or a Sena might attack toll nakas, or in this case, an individual. How does that get addressed?
I think it's a pattern in that lumpenization of the society on the one hand, and the expression of the Lumpens towards social events.
Okay.
I think they are not trained in the sense psychologically and culturally. I'm not saying they are very good. For instance, Mr. Arvind Sawant is very well educated. I know him very well. He speaks very well. He gave a wonderful speech in Parliament. So in one sense, they understand what you can call decent political practice. On the other hand, when it comes to protest, they don't know how to protest. They have not been trained into what you can call conventional parliamentary forms of protest. So they know only one form of protest. That is either to throw stones, break glasses, arson, or beat up somebody. And now in this particular case, bullying. Now bullying comes very naturally to majority of the Shiv Sainiks. Majority of the MNS included, because they were also Shiv Sainiks before.
Yeah.
And bullying, perhaps they feel, will terrorize the person concerned or the system concerned. So it's a kind of inculcated practice of protest, because they have not been trained into, brought up into some kind of a conventional parliamentary protest.
Right. So how is this going to get fixed, Kumar? Because we are,
I
this
think,
is another manifestation, and it is a very unfortunate manifestation,
yeah.
because obviously it has communal overtones.
I think Uddhav is a decent person. I mean, he generally doesn't like, pretends to that he doesn't like such things. So he should simply say this was inadvertent, totally unexpected, and we did not intend to hurt anybody's religion or anybody's fasting, and we totally apologize unconditionally, so that
For everything, not just for the religious
for
part.
all such acts of bullying.
Yeah.
For all such acts of bullying, we apologize. Now he should do particularly on the eve of elections. Otherwise, this event happening on the eve of elections can have repercussions. You know, if it is not controlled, it can have a communal kind of dimension, and that communal dimension will be uncontrollable. But there is another dimension also in this, is that Maharashtra government has not been able to fix the Maharashtra Southern management despite so many complaints. So it also shows the total inefficiency and directionlessness on part of Maharashtra government, that Maharashtra Southern is a respectable place in Delhi. It should be properly maintained. That has also not happened. So the anger can be justified, but the way of protest cannot be justified.
Okay, so you can see the visuals there from
yeah.
V. Marathi, Rajan Vichare, the member of parliament, forcing food onto that unfortunate unfortunate worker at the Maharashtra Southern. So Mandar, as we sort of head towards the close, how do we, can this ever be fixed? Can Sena ever be more parliamentarian in its ways, if that's the right word? Can it learn to respect the rules of common decency when it comes to dealing with issues, given that they are elected representatives of the people?
I think they need to learn the civilized ways to express themselves, as Kumar Katkar sir has rightly pointed out. But at the same time, I would say that while they are wrong, while they are the overall protest is completely wrong, we also did not really blow these particular incidents out of proportion, and especially media. As a media people, we also all needs to be all needs to show restraint while spreading all these thoughts, because this is the Ramzan's auspicious month, and all the sentiments are really very important, and we need to really deal with very carefully with all such incidents.
Right, and that's a fair point. Well taken from Mandar. Kumar, your closing points. I mean, but basically this is an important issue. We should address it. Uddhav should apologize unconditionally for everything. I mean, which is the communally insensitive part, as well as the act of bullying. But also keep in mind that this is the period of Ramzan. We should not be going around inflaming.
Yeah, and actually you should realize that the elections are coming, and on the background of elections, any such event can lead to untoward incidents, and therefore he must take cognizance of the atmosphere we are in. After particularly BJP getting its own majority and BJP's image being hard Hindutva image, particularly that of Narendra Modi, it will backfire even on BJP and backfire even on Narendra Modi government. So best thing is BJP should mediate, and if Shiv Sena is not apologizing, BJP should ask them to mediate and ask them to apologize, because BJP and Sena are together fighting election, and it would be on them the stigma.
So let me, I mean, not to go too deep into politics, but let's just bring that one political question. So is this going to be a turning point in the BJP Shiv Sena,
no.
at least for the next electoral?
I think no, because one of the MPs apparently has said that he would apologize in Parliament. If that happens, I think the issue will be closed. And I entirely agree with Mandar that this should not be blown out of proportion by the media also, because otherwise media will become an instrument.
The question is will the BJP's discomfort rise? I mean, obviously there is discomfort already. I mean, will the discomfort rise enough to say, okay, here's another instance where you're getting us into trouble because of your ways?
The fact is there is discomfort. That's why this has happened.
Okay.
Because there is a discomfort between BJP and Sena prior to this event, this has got this expression.
Okay.
And therefore, I think it will be a tough task for the BJP for time being, for a week or for 1 day or 2 days. But if they don't fix it now, more and more different kind of episodes will happen.
Right.
So to prevent any such episodes again, they have to apologize.
Right. Mandar, last word, the political dimension of this. Do you see any fallout between the two parties who were in any case wary of each other?
Sorry, I haven't got your question right.
So my question, Mandar, was, do you see any political fallout of this, particularly given that the two parties that is BJP and Shiv Sena, are already wary of each other?
I think I don't see any problem between BJP and Sena, at least for this particular incident. But state of Maharashtra, Congress and NCP would try to again blow these particular incidents out of proportion, and that's where the overall situation will go ahead politically.
Right, Mandar, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Kumar, for joining us and putting things in perspective. A dastardly incident, nevertheless, but needs to be scotched in some ways only if the Shiv Sena leadership comes out and apologizes unconditionally and ensures that this doesn't blow up into anything bigger and more dangerous. That's all we have time for on the India Hangout. Thanks for watching.